really hyper-verbal, very intelligent, but we're having big problems with motivation and compliance in the academic setting. And he has a great autism coach who works with him and caters to his every need, and he can take sensory breaks and all kinds of things, but he just, it's like he doesn't care. He just doesn't want to do it.
That is the biggest problem with Asperger's adolescents, is that amotivation. It's the hardest thing to treat because there's nothing to motivate them to try to do better. What I do personally in my practice when I see most of the kids I'm working with right now are Asperger's adolescents. We do a lot of talking about what's your goal. So what do you want to be? Like one of my young men that I'm working with wants to work for Lego. He wants to be a Lego master builder. Right? So his goal is to be a master builder. So what do you have to do to get to that place? You got to pass. You got to pass math. You got to pass English. You got to do your work. And so whenever he gets unmotivated or amotivated, we start talking again about if this is what your goal is, this is where you have to be going. So we do a lot of that. I sent him on the internet, which is not a bad thing for him, and made him research how to become a Lego master builder. He had to email these people and find out what their educational background was, and just all sorts of things, and got very, very excited, and that's his goal. So he's now 17. We're picking colleges, junior colleges, because he's really not ready to go away from home yet. So, but picking junior colleges where he can start getting some of the training that he's going to need to be a Lego master builder. So.
Well, also on the same vein for you, and probably Dr. Vincent too, how do I get him to eat? He's only 7 and he has like no appetite. I don't know how he stays alive with the amount he eats, and somehow he's huge.
and somehow he's what? He's huge?
Yeah, he's one of the tallest kids in his class. He's solid, he's strong, he's healthy as a horse, but he eats like, there's days that he'll eat like a fruit snack and some soy milk, and that's all he has the whole day.
What I've heard from the docs at Autism Speaks is that as long as your kid's staying on their growth curve, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Well, she's the
pick your battles.
Yeah.
Pick your battles. At least if he's got a fruit snack and he's got soy milk, hey, he's got some protein, he's got some.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of it that way.
I figure it's eating or sleeping. He sleeps.
So
I'm like, with the eating, I'll give him a pass.
Yeah, it's more important.
So your child is 7, but it raised an issue that I think we're all interested in about transition to adulthood. I think it's important to explore the different books that are out there about transition to adulthood, and there's a variety of them. So don't just look on Amazon, but look under Jessica Kingsley Publishers, which if any of you have any books about autism at home, if you look at who the publisher is, 90% chance it's Jessica Kingsley Publishers. There's several different books. So you'll have to look at the description, because the description will tell you whether or not it's going to address your particular child or not. So some books are for kids that are hyperverbal and on one end of the spectrum, and some books are for kids on the other end of the spectrum, and those books can give you tips on how to help keep your kid quasi-motivated.
And you have to
by keeping the Lego, right?
You got to keep changing the motivation.
Yeah, the stuff that works 5 minutes from now is not going to work
exactly.
in 20 minutes.
And what I tell
Respond to their current
cycle through them. Cycle through their motivators. If it's one's not working, you move on to the next one.